Today, I'm going to be walking you through how I am slowly but surely updating my wood storage to my specific needs. Now, obviously, everybody's garage or workspace that they have is going to be different. This is just something that I thought would upgrade the space, make more sense for the projects that I do and the wood that I keep on hand. So as you can see before, I had this like rolling cart, which I, by the way, never rolled. So I just wanted to take it apart, organize the wood, go through what I had, get rid of what I didn't need, and start fresh. When I first built this, I was actually really proud of it, but the more that I used it throughout the year, it started getting wobbly. It almost literally fell apart. It just wasn't a good build. But one thing that I can tell you is, even though you might not know how to build something, go for it and just learn, get your hands dirty, learn from your mistakes, and progress that way. Oh, I just was real aggressive there. I am going to be saving the longer 2x4s, but the other wood is not damaged, but it's definitely warped throughout like sitting in the garage and not being treated. And I'm going to try to use as much wood as possible, minus the things I'm knocking off with my frustration and aggression. I also like to save the screws, and I will be saving these casters as well for the second portion of my wood storage for my larger pieces of plywood. Instead of focusing on making this wall pretty with decor, I want to actually utilize the space in the wall in its entirety as much as I possibly can. So that's my goal for this wood storage. I'm just going to touch up the holes from the previous hanging photos and do one coat of paint over it to just get it back to brand new. Even though I have avoided this at all costs, I finally went through all of my wood and organized it by size and type. I've linked what I used down below for you, but truth be told, I wished that I could have got these 10-foot pieces as a whole, but they did not fit in my car. I got them cut down to 5 foot each, and I'm actually going to be doing a cleating system to put these up on my wall. And the reason that I couldn't get the 10-foot pieces in my car is because my car obviously can't fit them, and I had no patience to wait to get them delivered or to pay the money to get it delivered or borrow a car. I just, I don't know, I kind of just was impatient, and I wish I wasn't. You can go ahead and skip forward to 248 if you don't need to be doing this cleaning system, but what I did was just cut each end at a 45-degree angle that will rest in one another and provide the same strength because we'll be drilling into the studs. I colored the portions that I needed to cut off because sometimes I get confused, and then when I wanted it facing out a specific way, I marked the top and bottom pieces with an arrow facing out so I didn't forget. I wouldn't suggest doing this, to be completely honest. Looking back at it, it did end up working for me, but let's just move ahead treating this as one solid piece of wood. I'm going to mark it every 18 inches, again, to each its own for its space. This is what's working for my wall. I used my speed square to draw a line at that measurement across all the beams to keep it as level as possible, hopefully. Halfway in between those 18-inch measurements, I did make a little tick mark on each beam for a place to pre-drill a hole for my screws. At every 18 inches, I will be going in with my 1 1/4 Forstner's drill bit, but to ensure that I don't go all the way through the wood, I'm going to take a piece of painter's tape, wrap it where I'd like to stop so I have a DIY guideline. Once I had it all taped off, I went ahead and just drilled at every single 18-inch mark that I put on my board on every single board. So it took just a little bit. I would recommend using a drill press. I don't have one available, so I had to make do. If you remember, we did mark halfway in between those 18-inch measurements, so I just went ahead and pre-drilled holes for my screws that will be going directly into my studs of the wall. I cleaned up anything that was looking rough, but I didn't go crazy with sanding. I took a longer wood screw and drilled it through that pre-drilled hole to pop out the back of the 2x4. A while ago, I saw a tip on somebody's woodworking channel, I totally forget who, but they said if you countersink on the back of your beams that you're drilling into studs, it will give the material room to pull in without splitting the wood. So I just decided to give it a go, couldn't hurt. Looking back at this, I would have drilled a ton more holes for dowels for more shelving, but I just didn't for some reason. You can use conduit for dowels, you can use wooden dowels if it holds the weight of the wood that you're working with. I decided to invest and do copper because I have my copper workshop table and I really wanted the aesthetic to go through my whole garage. And I know that sounds crazy, but I just took a pipe cutter and then cut them down to 15 inches each. Whatever you choose to be your dowels, you need to ensure that they fit nice and snug in those larger holes that we drilled. I found and marked each of my studs behind the wall and then began to install. And I am actually using these 5-inch screws that are 62 cents each from Home Depot, just because the way that I wanted to go about it before, just like drilling in a screw halfway through the 2x4 into the wall, just was not going to work. So I invested and got longer, and they're actually pretty beautiful screws. Keep in mind, I do not want you guys doing this with 2x4s to make one long one. You should get the length of the 2x4 that matches your wall. Be patient, because I ran into cutting it wrong. It ended up being uneven. It just turned into a mess. So please, please, please don't do what I'm doing here. Just install one 2x4 that is the height of your wall, please. Oh my God, are you kidding me right now? Essentially, you would be skipping all of this. I actually measured wrong and didn't cut it right. I had to cut it back down a couple of inches and figure out to make sure the holes were even. It was just such a learning curve that patience goes such a long way in woodworking. Anyways, I continued to install the rest by drilling it in, ensuring it was straight, which again was just so much more work than necessary. But in a perfect world, I would have just had 4 long 2x4s, drilled them in nice and straight, and they would have been even and perfect. Oh, I'm so frustrated watching this edit back. But now that everything is installed, and I only ended up installing 3, I don't even know what I was thinking. I'm so stupid. I just wiggled in the dowels, hammered them in to make sure that they were all the way back, and I even topped the dowels off, the copper pipe off, with a cap, just again to add to the aesthetic. I know I'm crazy, but it's my workspace, and that's how I want it to look, so that's why I did it. I already told you guys most of what I would do differently, but another thing is I actually would have taken the time to sand down the 2x4s that I was installing and finished it, just, I don't know, to give it more sheen or something. It just seemed like I rushed through this, and I don't like that at all. You definitely can't cut corners. This is where I try to get away with only installing 3, because I was just having a week, you guys. It was so, I can't even believe I had this much negative energy watching my face in this edit. It's out of control. Anyways, I cut corners, and that's what you get. I had to go back in and add that 4th one and cut it down to size, because there was a little pipe in the way, to make sure that my wood wasn't going to sag when being stored. I started organizing all my wood once that 4th one was up, and I also had a sheet of plywood that I cut down to size to make a shelf for all my smaller pieces of wood as well. I don't know if you guys can tell, but some of the copper pipes aren't sticking out straight, some are uneven. That is because I didn't have a drill press, I didn't create a jig that could have made a perfectly straight hole into the 2x4, and I didn't take my time to get the right size wood, and that is totally on me, but I am so frustrated watching this edit back. I do hope it helps you guys not run into those issues, but hey, I'm always learning with you, and this is just a huge example of a learning curve for me. On the inside of a section of the 2x4s, I did screw in 2 pipe holders right across from each other at the same height, and I tied a rope across super tight. That way I can slide in my long PVC pipes or my dowels that are too long for the shelving or too short, you know, just the awkward pieces that you don't really know where to organize. That was the perfect place. Some of these pieces too are actually fairly tall, like they could go across a whole shelf, but they're so skinny I decided to just shimmy them up because they can lean against the shelves or the wood that is being stored without like falling over on you. Far away shot is not that pretty. You can see my mistakes, but if you look at it from the side, it is gorgeous, this part 1 of 2 of my wood storage. Now underneath where you see I didn't add shelves, I did that for a reason. You will see Wednesday why. It's for all my larger pieces of plywood, but I hope you guys like this tutorial. It was a little bit exhausting for me. Before I head out, I do want to show some love to all the humans that have been showing me a lot of love on that playroom makeover. Be sure to comment down below what tool or project you are most interested realistically in doing yourself, and use the hashtag #LTD giveaway to be entered for a special little surprise that I got for you guys.